The William W. Backus Hospital in Norwich is home to Eastern Connecticut's premier minimally invasive surgical program, offering the most advanced procedures from robotics to orthopedics. Experience the Backus difference today.
First order of business will be swearing in members of the Board of Ed. First person to be sworn in by Secretary of State Denise Merrill, William Shelley Morse. Bill?
You will raise your right hand. William Morse, do you solemnly swear to discharge your duties as a New London Board of Education member to the best of your ability?
I swear I will try.
That's all we can ask.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jason Alcatel will be sworn in by Rob Piero.
Raise your right hand. Jason Catala, having been chosen as board member of the Board of Education for the City of New London, do you swear that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office according to your best skill and judgment, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, it's at the end.
At the end? Okay.
Apologize. Sorry, Jay. Margaret Mary Curtin will be sworn in by Catherine Foley. Peg?
Peg, it is truly an honor to stand with you this evening as you once again pledge your service to your beloved City of New London. It is also very fitting that this time your service is focused on children, for throughout your life you have uplifted the younger generations as a friend, a mentor, and a passionate advocate. And so I ask you, Margaret Mary Curtin, that having been chosen as a member of the New London Board of Education for the City of New London, do you swear that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office according to your best skill and judgment, so help you God?
I do.
At this point, I'd like to call forward Sylvia Potter, who will be sworn in by the Reverend Wade Heislip from Trinity Missionary Baptist Church.
Raise your right hand. Sylvia Potter, having been chosen as a member of the Board of Education for the City of New London, do you swear that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office according to your best skill and judgment, so help you God?
So help me God, I will.
At this point, I'd like to call forward, I'm glad that she's here with us tonight, Elizabeth Garcia Gonzalez will be sworn in by Representative Ernest Hewitt.
Elizabeth, raise your right hand, please. Elizabeth Garcia Gonzalez, having been chosen as a board member of the New London Board of Education for the City of New London, do you swear that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office according to your best skill and judgment, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I'd like to call forward to the microphone Lena Muse will be sworn in by Reverend Larry DeLong from Miracle Temple Church. Reverend Lena.
Please raise your right hand. Lena Muse, having been chosen as a member of the Board of Education for the City of New London, do you swear that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office according to your best skill and judgment, so help you God?
So help you God, I will.
Congratulations.
So I'll call you forward, all right? Just stay here, just stay here. I'd also like to point out the 7th Board of Ed member, Barber Major, is not with us tonight, but she has already been sworn in and has taken the oath of office, so I want to congratulate Barbara and her family also. I know her mother's out here. I'd like to call forward Mr. Morse. You got it, Bill.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for turning out for what is really a historic evening in the history of New London. At this time, I'd like for us all to recognize family members of the board-elect members of the Board of Education. Jason, are there some people you would like to give a shout-out to?
There's a few people I'd like to recognize tonight. My mother, Genevieve Catala, is here. My beautiful daughter, Elizabeth, is here. My brother, John Catala, who worked hard on my campaign, couldn't make it, but I want to recognize him. My Aunt Mary Alves is here. My cousin, Robbie Alves, is here this evening. My cousin, Kristen, I don't believe she's here, but she worked very hard on the campaign. Mike Doyle, a friend, a family, a brother, in many ways, is here. And Rob Pirro is also here this evening, a mentor of mine for many years. So I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. And also, lastly, my niece, Ashley Catala, who came out door to door to me many times, is also here. Thank you.
Thank you. Peg?
I don't know if any family's here, but let's see. My grandnephew, Callum Scott Glover, is here someplace. My niece, Catherine Foley, who swore me in. My niece, Jeannie Siegel, is here in the back. My cousin, Tony Silvestri, is around someplace. And I think the rest of you are all related, so welcome.
Liz?
I'd like to recognize my husband, Jose D. Gonzalez, Sr., who's out there, my 3 children, Joseph, Mary Beth, and Jonathan, and the rest of my friends and family. Bye.
Delana?
I have to bend. I would like to recognize my husband, John, my boys, Gregory, John, my grandkids, Devontae, Tanasia, Shavonda, my pastor, Pastor Larry DeLong, Miracle Temple Church, our mother of the church, Mother DeLong, and my Miracle Temple family and friends who are here. God bless you.
Two years, but the rewards of persistence. Thank you, Delana. Sylvia.
I would like to recognize my husband, Terry Potter. My son, Terry Potter Jr. My daughter in her absence, Talia Renee Potter. My parents, William and Phyllis Wiggins. Extended family, friends, community, and my church as well. God bless you all.
And with everyone's indulgence, the Board of Education is going to proceed with election of officers. I'm going to make a motion right now to appoint Margaret Mary Curtin as temporary chairperson. Jason Catala seconds. All in favor? Those against? Okay.
Good evening, everybody. What a historic night. We're going to be nominating and electing a president of the board this evening, and at this time I recognize Mr. Catala for the purpose of making the nomination for president.
I would like to nominate Bill Morris as president of the New London Board of Education. He's been a member for the past several years on the Board of Ed. He is a caring person, cares for children of New London, and I would be honored to have the board's support to nominate Bill Morris as president of the board.
Mrs. Gonzalez for a second. You second? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? I will say the nominations are closed. I will ask for a vote on Mr. Morse. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Mr. Morse, you are now president of the board. I will call on Mr. Morse for the purpose of nominating a vice president of the board. Mr. Morse. It says here Mrs. Morse, but I think it's you. Yes.
I would like to nominate Liz Garcia Gonzalez as vice president of the New London Board of Education. Is there a second?
Is there a second, Mrs. Muse? Second. Mrs. Garcia Gonzalez has been duly nominated in second. Are there further nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I will move the nominations are closed and declare that Elizabeth Garcia Gonzalez is now the vice president of the New London Board of Ed. I hereby recognize Mrs. Garcia Gonzalez for the nomination of secretary to the board. Mrs. Gonzalez.
That the Board of Ed appoint Jason Cantala as Secretary of the New London Board of Education for 2011 to 2012.
Second, Mrs. Potter. You second the nomination? Okay.
Are there any other? Oh.
Mrs. Gunn, Mr. See. Jason Catala has been nominated and duly seconded as the Secretary of the Board. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Move the nominations are closed. All in favor of Jason Catala as Secretary, signify by saying aye. Mr. Catala is duly elected Secretary of the New London Board. Mr. Morse, Mr. President, would you come forward?
At this time, I'm going to move that all further business of the New London Board of Education be recessed until Thursday, 7 p.m. at our regular meeting. Is there a second? December 8th, yes. Second by Ms. Curtin. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. The ayes have it. Thank you very much.